Welcome to Ireland Daily News. Today is the 19th of June 2026. Story 1. Global trade barriers and tariff trends are affecting Irish consumers. Online shopping and selling are becoming more expensive and complex. New customs charges are directly impacting the sending and receiving of parcels. The cost of cross-border transactions is increasing. Consumers need to be more cautious when buying goods from outside the EU. Expect higher prices and potential logistics delays in the future. These changes reflect the rise of global trade protectionism. This is directly affecting the cost of living for people in Ireland. Experts advise consumers to verify customs requirements before shopping. This aims to avoid unexpected fees upon delivery. Logistics companies are adjusting operations to adapt to the new regulatory environment. Story 2. Taoiseach Michael Martin will travel to Brussels this evening for a two-day EU summit. This is the final meeting before Ireland takes over the EU presidency in July. Leaders will discuss potential sanctions against extremist Israeli ministers. They will also discuss a ban on goods from illegal settlements in the West Bank. The agenda includes negotiations on the next 7-year EU budget. This budget is expected to dominate the Irish presidency. Leaders will also address how the EU should handle trade imbalances with China. They will take stock of the US-Iran Memorandum of Understanding. The agreement will extend the ceasefire in the Gulf for 60 days. They will receive an update on the outcome of the G7 summit in Evian. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky will join the start of the summit. He is expected to welcome the opening of accession negotiations earlier this week. Mr. Martin said there is an increased focus on European competitiveness. He looks forward to strategic discussions on EU global economic and trade relations. Ireland will work to implement their One Europe, One Market roadmap. Ireland will work to make progress across 5 strategic building blocks. These include simplification, deepening the single market, and championing fair trade. They also include reducing energy prices, decarbonizing, and driving digital and AI transformation. Finally, they will drive the digital and AI transformation. Story 3. Data center company Equinix has launched a hydrogen generator pilot in Blanchardstown, Dublin. The project is scheduled to run for a 12-week period. 2 hydrogen-powered generators developed by GeoPura have been installed. They are currently being used to support cooling systems at the site. The trial is being conducted in collaboration with the ESB. Equinix Ireland Managing Director Peter Lantry described it as a landmark research project. Paul Lennon from the ESB called it a reliable and clean alternative. Minister of State Timmy Dooley said the technology supports the energy transition. In 2024, data centres accounted for 22% of electricity usage in Ireland. It is estimated that this will grow to nearly 1/3 of demand by 2030. The government has published a large energy action plan. The Commission for the Regulation of Utilities requires new data centres to meet 80% of energy demand from renewables. Story 4. This week, a Sinn Féin proposal to abolish the 3-day abortion waiting period passed in the Dáil. The vote was designated as a free vote. This led to a significant split within the government parties. Taoiseach Simon Harris and Taoiseach Michael Martin voted in favour. However, the majority of members voted against the bill. Senior ministers including Jim O'Callaghan, Norma Foley and James Brown all voted against it. This waiting period has been in place for 8 years. It was not recommended by the Citizens' Assembly or the Oireachtas Committee. The passage of the bill has sparked a discussion on abortion legislation. The government has also announced it will implement a derelict property tax. Story 5. Lead union negotiator Kevin Callanan warns there is currently no basis for public sector pay talks. If no successor agreement is in place by the end of this month, unions may ballot for industrial action. Kevin Callanan is the General Secretary of Forsar and Chair of the Public Services Committee of the Irish Congress of Trade Unions. He stated that unions argued for addressing pay and living standards at the start of negotiations. However, officials prefer to leave pay discussions until the end of the process. The current agreement expires in 12 days. Kevin Callanan has advised union leaders to prepare for the possibility of no agreement from the 1st of July. Unions are developing an industrial strategy to protect members' interests. Minister for Public Expenditure and Reform Jack Chambers says the talks will be challenging. A spokesperson for the Department of Public Expenditure says exploratory discussions with the Irish Congress of Trade Unions are ongoing. Story 6. The Oireachtas Housing Joint Committee has published a report. The committee is calling on the government to take emergency measures to address the homeless crisis. This includes considering the reintroduction of a no-fault eviction ban. Department of Housing data shows 17,548 people were in emergency accommodation in April. This includes 11,944 adults and 5,604 children. This figure has increased by 12.6% year-on-year. Committee members have expressed deep concern about the current situation. The report puts forward 14 recommendations. These include developing a strategy for child homelessness. The committee also suggests considering a referendum on the right to housing. Michael Carrigy TD holds reservations about an eviction ban. Rory Hearn TD has called for an immediate ban. Owen O'Brien TD emphasised the need to strengthen prevention measures. Richard Boyd Barrett TD called the crisis a stain on society. That's all for today's Ireland news. Thanks for watching, and see you tomorrow.